What's up guys and welcome to the Hoonigan Gymkhana Summit Guide. And yeah, I know I told you that I won't be here for a Summit Guide this week because I had a surgery appointment, but that was cancelled because the dog was sick. So yeah, I'm here and there's the Summit Guide. But I have a new appointment for the surgery for next week on Tuesday, so maybe next week no Summit Guide, just so you know. Okay, let's start, and with the rewards in this summit we have 5,000 of the spare parts from bronze. We get 10 legend points for silver, that's pretty good, and for gold we get the Audi S1 EKS RX Quattro. And for platinum, and that's pretty new, we get the yellow spangled nitro. It isn't that new because we could get that in the Crew 2 one or two summits ago, but as it isn't importable anymore, so it's pretty new for Motorfest. And after that we can completely ignore the Gymkhana modifier for the summit because it is just for bugs and not necessary at all for the summit. And at the end we have 50k XP for 3 played events. For 6 we get 25,000 bucks, so nearly nothing. And for 9 played events again you can get 2 golden parts for rallycross, not that much but okay, and 100k points for the summit. So yeah, 9 events should be played at all. And of course, I hope you leave a like and subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment if you like this kind of summit guides in English commentary, just so I know I can go on with that in the future. Okay, like always, we will start at the top of the summit. So with the rallycross race, where we can choose the car, we will take the Citroen C3 with a nitro chemist set on pure and extra pump, and the settings like I showed them. I always consider these volcano tracks of some kind, like motocross tracks, even though I know that this might not be one, but doesn't matter at all. Okay, we start at self-shifting, so manual gear shifting, and keep it in a low gear for the first water parts in the first race. Then after that we have a very sharp curve at around 25 seconds, so take a power drift here, like using nitro and handbrake and steering in at once is a power drift. After that, at 30 seconds we can cut through the checkpoint on the left and into the next checkpoint for a respawn cut, and that's pretty much everything for the first track. It's pretty easy. You can use the wooden walls after 50 seconds, 2 walls in total. I didn't know that in that track, but I noticed in the second track of rally, so use them. They are pretty much faster than the normal road, and that's why I kind of shitted the jump in at the end here and didn't use the wall at all. Okay, after that you can cut slightly more inside than I did, so you get more speed for the last straight. Use air nitro when you have the big jump, and after the water you should have some nitro left, so you can go back on speed. After that you will just have to follow the straight until you're at the finish line, or at the second round for you, because I always cut round maps for just one round. Wouldn't be necessary to show both, I think. Okay, and that's where we can get to the second race. We are using the Audi RS2 Avant. Pretty much the new meta car for Street Tier 1, I guess, and not I guess, it just is the new meta car. With the settings I showed you here, you can pretty much drive that thing like a tank and will not slip at all, I hope. The track we already know, it's the 911 Arrival, and well, there is a shortcut. We already know that from previous summits, but they fixed it. I'm pretty happy they fixed a shortcut in a summit, but they didn't fix it at all. So where we normally cut it, there are walls, but we can cut slightly more on the inside and it still works, as you can see, at around 18 seconds. You just drive to the road, slightly to the right, and then respawn. Still works, and still spares you, I think, about 1 second per round, so 3 seconds in total. Gives you a lot of points. Okay, after that you get to the rainbow tunnel. After this tunnel you can use a power drift again to get the next curve a little bit faster, and then take a white curve at around here. You see it at 225, and with nitro go to top speed again. Take it without losing too much speed at the last corners. It's pretty much possible without braking at the end of this track. Okay, after that, pretty much easy track, but you see low points because Street Tier 1 is always low points. We come to the first drift event. We get to the first drift event with the Camaro SS, and it's a pretty easy track, so we don't need that much of the drifty perk. We could just use pure and extra pump, but I did a mixed set for pure, extra pump and drifty, so drift cars can do both, just drive straight with nitro or drift a little bit. This is a track from the Hawaiian Scenic Tour, pretty easy. You could slipstream it, you should slipstream it if you can, because there's this hyper long straight line at the start and the end of each round, and it's just, I would guess, like 1 or 2, yeah, let's say 1 second per round just by that straight in slipstream. Maybe 2 or 3 seconds, but I'm not pretty sure about that. I will use manual gear shifting in every race, but for this race it's pretty much, yeah, I think some kind of the key for it, because I used the downshift to get the car into drifting or even to get it stable again. You should get to the third or fourth gear I used in the first corner after the top speed circle, and then it's pretty much easy. You take all wide curves on stable driving, and the serpentines, the sharp curves, I use the drifts. Maybe you don't have to do that, but that's how I felt and that's how I do it, and it pretty much worked out. You see at 1 minute and 12 seconds, it didn't work out for every corner. Maybe I should have drifted there or just brake a little more. And then you see at around 4 minutes in this cut, we get to the straight line, and we could do it with slipstream with, I think, about 350 to 360 kilometers per hour. For the long straight, pretty much key to get a good time in this race. Okay, after that we get to the Audi again, and we will see why this car is so good as it is. It's just too strong for every other Street Tier 1 car. We normally use the Focus RS, but as you might remember, this thing was very slippery and the Audi isn't at all. We can do the first part with slipstream again, but I think that won't be necessary because that's basically the one and only really long straight line. The rest is pretty much curvy, and you could slipstream it, yeah, because there are straight lines in between, but won't be necessary, and yeah, won't be good for the typical casual player. The first right corner, you can do that in a respawn without braking at all, spares a little bit of time, and after that we want to use the gutter again. The guttering is, I guess, some kind of the key for every race at all. So maybe just to tell it again, guttering means 2 tires on the inside of the curve off-road and 2 tires on the road will kind of stick you to the inside of the corner and pull you through it with a little bit more speed and much more stable than you could do it without guttering. The problem is, if you try to hit the gutter with a little more speed and then don't get it, or just a little bit too fast, you will slip out of the corner. So that's the problem with the guttering. But for you all, I got an advice for that 1 or 2 weeks ago. I think I mentioned it last week in the Summit Guide too. Turn on controller vibrations. I did. I hated it, but I did. And it pretty much worked. So the guttering will give you a feedback if you hit the gutter or not. And I didn't thought it would be that much of a difference, but it is. It really helped me out for getting better at it. As you might see, I'm not perfect at guttering at all. Okay, after 38%, I just jumped and cut it through the race because there is nothing too special. At 65-66%, you can just cut to the off-road to have a little more speed on the straight lines. Just try to get on the road a little bit faster than I did. After that, you can just keep your speed, and I will just show you at around 78%. Pretty sharp corner, just go full speed inside and try to hit the respawn a little bit earlier than I did, so you don't hit the wall at all. It's just about the timing after the update with the respawns. Okay, after that, at 83-84%, we have another curve where we can cut a little bit just to get more speed on the straight lines, and then it goes up to the finish. Nothing too special after that. What's the next race? Let me get... we are nearly... it's drift. Drift. Okay. After the new update with the Gymkhana events, of course, we got a bunch of new drift cars, and you could think of it, the Hoonigan drift cars are meta for all. So it doesn't matter if you have to drift or drive, Hoonigan cars are meta. I used the Lancer because I practiced with it and I pretty much like it. Most people, as I saw, use the Unicorn, so the Mustang drift from Hoonigan. You can do both. You might have noticed I didn't show settings for that car. That's because I just drive it stock. But again, with the same nitro set as the Camaro. Then after that, for that car, I think I can't really tell you anything. It's pretty much something in between a normal drift car and a street racer, I guess. It's pretty fast. The acceleration is beyond everything else. I think Sid already posted a video like the acceleration is higher than the drag race acceleration. So yeah, pretty much heavy. The race itself, just a small cut at around 50 seconds. You can use that. I spared it a little bit because I was afraid of slipping away on the off-road. Then I failed and slided away at 55 seconds. You see, you could do that more on the inside for the S-curves if you wouldn't be that slippery as I did here. After that, at the last corner, we can just straight up into the wall. So you see, I get bounced into the checkpoint and use a respawn again. Just a question of the timing. Huge. After that we get to the last rallycross event, and that's where I noticed that the walls are pretty much key for those events. I didn't know because I never tried those events, to be honest. Okay, we use the normal Focus R SRX because we noticed that the Glow Motorsport Edition just seems to be hitting the jumps with its front spoiler. I don't know why. It just seemed so. I used it and I pretty much failed every 2 or 3 rounds. So as you can see at the beginning, I just overtake all NPCs just by using one of those wooden walls. Pretty easy. Try not to hit those. I will call it yeah, is it like red, I would call it a boxing, what is the English word for boxing? I don't know. Boxsack in German. After that, pretty much don't use that red things on the side of the road. Just try to use the wooden wall rides, and that's nearly everything you need to know for that race. Pretty much. It's a little bit of knowing the track, right? Because you have to know where you have which jump, where is which corner, and after which jump is which corner, so you can take the jumps with more or less speed. Just a thing of driving it 2 or 3 times. Sometimes it's better to brake in front of a jump, just not to get it too fast. Or like I did here at the end of the track, just go sideways besides the jump is pretty much faster when you can. But I think that's the only position you can do that. Okay, now I'm getting a little bit nervous around about talking about the escapes, because the escapes are pretty much, yeah, something like a discussable thing with the traffic. I get a lot of messages. We talk a lot about the problem with the traffic. First of all, we use the Bugatti 110 Nitro Chemist set on pure and extra pump as always. Settings are shown, and yeah, both escapes will be driven in the opposite direction. It's pretty easy, I guess, to get a good amount of meters here, but pretty hard to get the last 10%, the last kilometer. Yeah. After driving into that escape, you just want to go right onto that highway and go for it for, I think, 3 to 4 kilometers. Pretty easy, not that bad, but you see the traffic is a big problem. It is. And I noticed that mostly the high-end gamers, the high-level gamers in Motorfest, just think it's annoying that this competitive playing is, yeah, not really possible with that traffic. Well, it is possible, but much harder because you can't control it. Sometimes you have to get a corner in high speed and have only one angle to choose, and if there's a car, then you just don't have any chance to get past it, and then it will kill you, and then you have to do it again and again and again and again for hours. until you get it. And some of the competitive players are just hating it. I don't know what you think about it, but I think it's pretty okay. I think I was, yeah, I've known it in the crew too, and I pretty much like it. It's more of a competition for the casual player, I guess, making it not too easy to get high meters, but still having something to do with it. Okay, for the slalom, I will use the plane again. You can do it with every car, every vehicle at all. Well, not the boats, but yeah, every other vehicle. Just use a point breaker set with skilled perk. And if you're using the plane, skilled and extreme perk, so you can fly in the extreme mode with the plane to get the corners. And that's all. That's pretty much one of the easiest slaloms I've seen, even for plane. It's not that hard, but for cars, just use where you have a skill set, a point breaker set. If you have it, use it on Rally Raid or Rallycross, I guess. Okay. Second escape, same problem as in the first one. You could use the Koenigsegg Agera R here, but yeah, I don't like that car. I don't know. It's fast. It's really fast in corners, and you can take corners with much more speed with the Agera. But I have the problem that I just slip away with it every time. I get, yeah, I don't know. I only try to steer it and it goes yeet. So yeah, I use the Bugatti Santorici, pretty much easy. You take the first corner into the escape, then just go up with nitro till you are at 450, 470 kilometers per hour, so nearly at the limiter. And yeah, then it's pretty much just follow the ghost. That's the thing for the escapes I wanted to say. If you're not sure how to drive an escape, just go to the leaderboard and select a ghost from the driver you want to compete with, or you think you could compete with, just so you have someone showing you the route right on the track. That's pretty much the best advice I can give you for escape feast at all. Okay, you may see all you should need. You should have some nitro left for around 4,000, 5,000 meters, and then just go for it. Biggest problem again is the traffic. As you might see, the traffic was the reason I failed here too. I could have get slightly more meters than that, but not that much at all. I think I could have gotten to 6,500, 6,600, but as you might see, I got 200 meters plus and already 2,000 points. So yeah, the escapes are pretty much key for good points where other players don't want to compete. So you can get pretty much good points with the escapes where other players don't want to get those points, so that's some kind of a good place to put a little more effort in. Okay, and that's it. That's the whole summit with 1.26 million points. Pretty much easy platinum in this, and I hope it was a help at all. I'm not pretty sure if I'm getting better or worse at doing the English guides with my speaking, but that's something you should discuss. Okay. I hope it helped at all. Just subscribe and leave a comment if you liked it, and if you didn't like it, leave a comment with what you didn't like and what I could do better. And I hope to see you soon. Maybe not next week because surgery again, but yeah, I hope to see you soon for the next Summit Guides.